Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far, staying healthy and staying strong and staying optimistic. Welcome, Ali Haidar. Hi, Xavier, Swati, Charmin. Good to see many of our regular students. Welcome to our moderator, Carolina, and welcome to our members, Bakrat, Ois. Good to see many students in this class. This class is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there for the general IELTS. Check us out at ieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have lots and lots of information to help you improve and get some high band scores. It looks like Carl Rabbit maybe got some high band scores. I'll check it out in the chat right now. Carl got band 7. Great job, Carl. Good for you. Send us a testimonial when you have a moment. All right, I'll quickly show you the websites that many students use to improve their band scores. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background. You can click this big red button to join our premium package. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're British Council IELTS Registration Center and certified agents. Our general IELTS website looks like this with the green background, and you can click that big red button to join us there. All right, everyone. We have apps. You can go to your app store, download the app, Academic IELTS Help, link it to aehelp.com so you can study from the website or from the app. The app General IELTS Help links to gieltshelp.com. And again, if you have questions, just send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. If you like having physical paper books, you can get our exam books from Amazon in digital or hard copy versions. A helps Academic IELTS and G helps General IELTS. So tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, we have a little bit of a break. Of course, you should study your IELTS every chance you have. That's usual. And then I'm back on Wednesday with speaking part 1 for everyone. That's usually our schedule. So these live classes go from Wednesdays all the way to Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're working on other projects, HD videos. So we don't have classes on those days. I will post this schedule on our YouTube community board as well. Okay, let me, yeah, okay. All right, it's in there, good. Okay, so this is our speaking part 2 question for the day. This is a speaking class, everyone, so make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, so copy my sentences, my pronunciation, my intonation. All right. This is an original brand new speaking part 2. So the IELTS speaking, it has 3 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 will be about 7-8 questions that will be about you, something that you do or that you did, your work, your hobbies, music, could be about school. And then once you're finished part 1, the examiner will say, okay, that is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, I will show you some questions. Please do not touch the book. It's because of the coronavirus. You have some note paper in front of you and your pen. You will have 1 minute to read the questions on this card. And you can take notes in that 1 minute if you wish. and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Then they'll show you the card, and then they will read the topic sentence. So the examiner will say, talk about an establishment that does some type of charity. Okay, your 1 minute preparation time begins now. So that's exactly how it works. The IELTS examiners are trained for this, so it's literally verbatim what I just showed you, okay? So they'll say pretty much exactly what I just said, and then your 1 minute preparation time starts. Okay. Xavier, your pen, you have to take that with you into the speaking interview. Right now with COVID especially, they do not give you a pen. Read the instructions they send you when you sign up for the IELTS. You need to take your pen into the, make sure your pen's working, okay? I've heard of a couple students where they're like, I took a pen, but I realized too late it didn't really work. So you have a pen with you, and they'll have note paper. The note paper is usually... it's not full pages. They're like smaller pieces. They usually take a page and cut it into 4 pieces. And that's enough for the notes that you take in the 1 minute, especially if it's front and back. Okay. All right. And then they show you a booklet. Like they literally have a book with questions on the different pages, and they choose a specific page. They have their kind of set pre-selected, and then they show you the questions. Okay? All right. So step number 1, read the card carefully. Okay? Pay very careful attention to this topic statement. Talk about an establishment that does some type of charity. Okay? So it's a non-profit organization that does some kind of work to help people or to help a group of people. Eugen, I'm doing fantastic today. Thank you for those wonderful emojis. The cowboy panda always gets me. All right. So general question, present tense, charity. All right. Now the ensuing questions. What is this place and where is it? How does this place help people? What can people do to contribute to this place? And why do you think places like these are important, and how can they be even better? Okay. Great. So, we have now identified that we are talking about a place. We are using the general present tense. When we talk about a place to another person, what should we include? What should we tell that other person about that place so that they can clearly understand what we're talking about? And the order is important here. It does matter. So if I'm telling a person about a place, what should I include? Okay, Charmin says location. Abhishek says appearance. Yeah, let's start with the location, so where it is. All right. Then the appearance. What does it look like, right? Okay. Oh, it says it's location, attendance, activities, and importance. Oh, don't forget the attendees, right? So who's there? It makes sense before the activities, so we know who's doing those activities. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We might include the history as well. So Charmin says maybe include the history. Yeah. It's not always important, but it may be a good idea, certainly. okay? Especially if you know the history, then it could be a good idea. All right, absolutely. Okay. All right, so that's what you want to include. As long as you think about all of these points, you're going to do well, okay? So location and appearance, maybe 10%. So let's say 12 seconds. Sometimes students ask me, like, how much time should I spend on each of these? Let's say about 12 seconds on each of those. History depends on if you have some time here, okay? Attendees, maybe like a little bit more, 20 seconds. Okay. Activities and the importance, that's where you want to spend more time. So this is where you want to spend like, let's say 30 seconds and 30 seconds. Okay, these are just rough estimates. It's just so that you have an idea of how much time you should focus on each of these. Please don't count the seconds, but it's to give you an idea that most important are to talk about the activities that people do there and the importance of this place. That's what you're really focusing on, okay? But definitely you want to give context. Context means the location, the appearance, so that your listener can visualize, picture this place clearly, understand it, okay? That is the way to do it, okay? All right. So, now, what's the next step? So I've read the cue card. I figured out that I'm talking about a place. I figured out that I'm using some general tense to talk about it. What's my next step? So logically, what should I do next? And this is all happening in the 1 minute preparation time, so it's happening quickly. All right. What do I do next? What do I do next? Okay. Charmin says, think about 2 to 3 good ideas. All right. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, they should be original. They should be easy to talk about. And lots of content. Okay, good. So let's think of some ideas. What are charitable establishments that help people in some way? So when I'm thinking about this, what I think about are groups of people who need help, like homeless, like children, like the sick, like the elderly. And I think about what kinds of establishments there are to help people like this, okay? OS says a foundation for mental health for adults, okay. Anirudh says, I've got some work to do, just came here to say hi to you guys. Hi back at you. Anirudh, I'm glad you jumped in, okay. PK Creation says some kind of an orphanage, okay, make sure that you come up with a specific name, PK Creations. So Hope Cancer Society, says Rashika. Okay. I'll write down orphanage. Okay. Helping homeless, Dilpreet says. Okay, what's the organization name? This is a specific location. I'm surprised that there haven't been a couple of different ones here. Janiel says Mir Foundation, Mumbai for homeless children and acid attack victims. Ooh, okay, Mir Foundation. All right, that's a location. Abhishek and Carolina both say WWF, World Wildlife Fund. Okay, UNICEF. Okay, Asad Beck says health societies. That's a good one, Asad Beck. Ochilov, what is one of the biggest health societies that's charitable and helps people around the world, especially these days with the pandemic and historically with pandemics and with other problems as well? So, what is one of the biggest ones? I'm not talking about the World Health Organization, although that's a good one. But there's another one that really comes to mind for me. And I'm sure many of you know this. Okay. I'm going to go with this one here. This is the one that comes to mind. So picking the right one is very important. Red Cross. Is everybody familiar with Red Cross? Yeah, Abhishek just said it. Red Cross. Absolutely. Okay. All right, so let me give you some feedback on these choices. Okay. So Hope Cancer Society, I think if you know about this, it's a great pick. It's specific, especially if you know a lot about what they do and you can discuss this topic. It's good. Talking about cancer can be difficult, and I don't just mean emotionally, but I mean the vocabulary could be difficult talking about cancer. So you have to be careful. Orphanage. I would not choose that. Why not? So why do you think I would avoid choosing talking about an orphanage? What's the logic there? Okay. Why would I not just simply say there's an orphanage in downtown that does this? Okay, Rahul says it's common. Yeah, it's probably one of like the first thoughts that would come to mind for a lot of. Yeah, so that's why I would avoid that. I think a lot of people who would get this question, their first thought would be to talk about an imaginary or a real orphanage. And it would be very common. It would be difficult to score well. It'd be easy to go off topic and not be specific. Okay. All right. Mir Foundation could be good. World Wildlife Fund could be good if you know where their office is and you can talk clearly about it. Okay. I don't actually have that much information about the World Wildlife Fund. I can come up with some. UNICEF is very broad. They deal with a lot of different kinds of situations, so I might avoid that. WHO, a lot of gray. Red Cross, I'm quite familiar about, and I know that there are Red Cross centers in most major cities. So in this class, I'm not going to do the voting. I'm just going to pick Red Cross, and we're going to go with that one. Okay. So let's go with Red Cross, and we'll go with Red Cross. Oh, I don't know. Let's pick a city here. So Red Cross in downtown Mumbai. Okay. So let's do Red Cross in downtown Mumbai. That is going to be our pick of the day for our part 2 response. Now, picking a good topic to discuss or to give as the answer is absolutely key. Now we've got some notes. Okay. So first is the location. You don't have to write location in your notes. Just remember that you're writing about location. Red Cross, Mumbai. Located in downtown Central to most people, so it's easy to access, right? We'll go with that one. Amit, if you don't know what Red Cross is, you're going to very quickly discover what it is, okay? Charmin, if you don't know about Red Cross, I'm sure you're going to know about it very quickly. It's an international organization. Okay, let's describe the building. So its appearance. And if you don't know it, just make it up. So what do you think Red Cross in Mumbai might look like? I have no idea. I'm guessing there's probably one there. What do you think the building might look like? Okay. So, yeah, it's okay if you don't know about Red Cross Weekend. We'll get along. We'll create the information, so it's fine. We'll put it all together. Yeah, so it has a big red cross, usually, as its symbol. It's what you see on ambulances, okay? That's why it's called the Red Cross. So for those of you that aren't familiar, Red Cross has this symbol, and of course this is all red, okay? And it's basically the international sign for medical assistance or medical aid, okay? All right. So, and that's an iconic Red Cross. Okay. So, logo on a 5-story building. Okay. Shri Ganesh says always white color. So, yeah. White, sure. Like a hospital. Okay. Big parking, ambulance. Okay. Oftentimes, Red Cross will have an ambulance area as well. Okay. All right. Janeel says square building. Sure. Remember, just 12 seconds. We're just making it up. Don't worry, your examiner is not going to Google what Red Cross actually looks like in Mumbai. All right, you're just giving them an idea. All right, so it's fine. Okay, that's the appearance. Now, the attendees, or let's do a little bit of history. Why not? You can make it up. Okay. Maybe it was established in 1950. Okay, that's all you need. All right, and then the attendees. Okay, so who is at Red Cross? So who can you find in Red Cross building? What do you think? So who would be some people that you would find there? Okay. All right, so Amit says, let's give it some quantification. So let's say 300 employees, sure. Okay, and who are those 300 employees? All right. Good, Carolina. So Carolina says nurses, doctors, volunteers. Who else might you find there? Okay, at Red Cross. Pathologists, yeah, very good. Paramedics, right? Patients, very good, Janeel, of course. Administrators. All right, good. So, the activities. What does Red Cross do? Okay, very good. So Pabandeep says donors, blood donors. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so activities, they do blood donation, healing, charity. What else do they do? Seconder, very good. Teachers, pharmacists, yeah, they do education as well. So, Yeah, pharmacy. They provide medicine for the ill. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good. Counseling. Very nice. So notice how there's lots of information here. Okay. What's the importance? Okay, so you have just 1 minute, right? So your brain is ticking quickly. What's the importance? So why is Red Cross important? Why is it good to have Red Cross? Why is it good to have this charity? Uh, Jayasri says disaster management. So we'll take management in a crisis. Yeah, so definitely. Okay. Pawandeep says for needy people. Yeah. Health for ill and impoverished. Impoverished means in poverty. Poverty means to be poor or to not make a lot of money. Abhishek says protect life and health. Yeah. Yeah, all of those come in minds. Improve the life quality, develop society, right? Okay, very nice. All right, great. So your 1 minute is slowly coming to an end. You need to take one more step here. What's another step that I need to take? Awareness, Abhishek. That's very good as well. I'll add that. So we need to take one more step before my 1 minute time is up. What is my last step in my 1 minute preparation time before the examiner says, hey, your 1 minute is up. Please begin speaking. Abhishek says, get your first sentence ready, right? Artist says, build the first sentence. Yeah, absolutely. So okay, think of your first sentence. So let's do that. Okay, again, your first sentence comes from the topic statement. So use this topic statement, okay, and your choice to create the topic sentence, okay? And even if you don't have enough time to write it all down, think about it in your mind so that as soon as the examiner says, okay, please begin speaking, you can just start talking, okay? So give me your first sentence so that you don't waste the first 10 seconds going, and not to make fun, but I have seen students do that where the examiner says, okay, please begin speaking, and the student's like, and 10 seconds goes by, and then they start with, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about a charitable place. And it's like, what are we doing? Okay. So, all right. So yeah, you want to be fluent, right? You want to show fluency right away. Okay. So let's see that first sentence. Artist says the establishment that does a type of charity is Red Cross in downtown Mumbai. Arta, fantastic. That's exactly it. So that's what you want to do for your first sentence. Get right into it with the topic. Okay. All right. Rashika says the place that was established in 1950 for charity work is Red Cross in downtown Mumbai. Rashika, I probably wouldn't start with the history. It's a little bit awkward. It's kind of like I'm not sure what you're talking about until you finish your sentence. So I would start with the Red Cross in downtown Mumbai is a charity that was established in 1950. I would reverse it, Rashika, okay? So the Red Cross in downtown Mumbai is a charity that was established in 1950 to help people in the city and India. Okay, so that's how I would start it. Okay, I would reverse that, Rashika. It's a little bit more sensible for your listener. All right. Shri Ganesh says, Red Cross is the charitable trust that helps poor people in creating awareness for health. Shri, don't put that last part in there because then you're already going down a certain path, and I'm afraid that you're going to limit yourself if you start talking about awareness for health. Okay, Red Cross does a lot more than that, and it's not good to restrict your answer at the beginning so quickly. Okay. Reba says, today I would like to talk about an organization that does some charity for the development of society. Reba, don't start like that. Okay. We know that you're going to talk about that. I'm not sure if you actually like to talk about it. You're definitely talking about it because you have to. It's what the card is asking you. So be more direct. Okay. Students, it's very important that your answers in the speaking interview are direct. Okay. If you're giving roundabout answers, template answers, your band score will be lower. Okay, so be careful about that. All right. Okay. All right, Amra, one of the biggest charity organizations in the world, which was established in 1950. The Mumbai division was established in 1950. Talk about a specific location, okay? Remember, the card is asking where is it, what does it do, okay? All right. Good. Kevin Bowie says, a charitable organization that has pledged to mobilize its resources for the best interest of the community is Red Cross in downtown Mumbai. Very nice, Kevin. Very nice start. Okay, glad to have you in the class. All right. So now we just go through our notes. You don't have to stare at your notes, but definitely use your notes. Okay. So now that we introduced its location, it's central in the city, so it's easily accessible for most people. Okay, that's the kind of note that's very useful. And then we talk about its appearance. People can see the building from far away. It has a large Red Cross logo on top of the building. It's 5 stories high. So just go through the appearance, go through this part. Okay, so let's start building this response so that we have that high band score now. So go ahead and write a sentence or two which gives a little bit more about its location and a little bit more about its appearance, okay? As long as we're going through these notes in this order and we're creating some nice connected sentences, we're going to do really well here, okay? So go ahead and add a little bit more about its location, as I just did, and its appearance, so what this building looks like. Pachu says, this building was established in 1950 in downtown Mumbai. Okay, while I wait for some more, I'll write a little bit as well. So the Red Cross in downtown Mumbai is a charity that was established in 1950 to help people in the city of India. It is in the heart of the city, so that it can extend its services to many citizens conveniently and it is easily accessible for people. Okay? So I'm explaining why that building is located downtown, okay? If the car says this 5-story building can be noticed from a distance by its big logo, which is the iconic red cross. Okay. All right. Very good. That's exactly what we want to do. Okay. So this 5-story building can be recognized from a distance by the large iconic red cross logo near the top of the building. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, Bakra says this giant circular 5-story building with ambulance parking at the back can be recognized from quite a distance. Ois writes, the Red Cross office located in the heart of the city on Drive Street has several offices. It has directors, supervisors, volunteers, and storage for aid items and ambulances with logos. Or a lot of information really quickly, maybe slow it down a bit, okay? Otherwise it will get confusing. Janal says, Red Cross is a charitable society which is non-profit and helps many people in need and is located in Fakalane, Botswana. Yeah, it sounds like you're talking about the real building, which is great. Okay, Janil says, it is a 5-story square building in the heart of the city and easily recognizable by the well-known logo, a gigantic red cross embossed on the top of the building. Beautiful writing, Janil. Extremely nice description and great use of vocabulary. Take a note of that description, students. Really well done, Janil. That's band 9 level communication, especially when you say that clearly. Okay, I'll read Janil's once again because just picture it, students. Close your eyes. You can absolutely picture what Janil is writing. It is a 5-story square building in the heart of the city and easily recognizable by the well-known logo, a gigantic red cross embossed at the top of the building. Very clear description. Okay, so the building is square shaped with a large parking area and an emergency entrance for ambulances. It has dozens of rooms which serve a variety of purposes. All right. Good. Excellent. This is how we do it. So we've described what it looks like. Again, don't spend too much time on the description either, because most importantly, we're going to talk about the activities and the experience. But before we get there, who works there? Okay, so discuss a little bit about the attendees. So who actually works there? Who are the people that are there? Okay, write a little bit about the people. Who are the people working in this charity? Okay. All right. Arda says there's a large parking area for cars, for patients, employees, and also for ambulances. That's nice description, Arda. Okay. Amit says the organization is big in size. It has approximately 100 rooms and is built in 1950. Okay, Amit, that's good. All right. Kin Mu says in this charity, roughly 300 employees, roughly 300 people are employed. Most of them are charity workers, doctors, and nurses. It is a great place for patients who cannot afford medical care. Okay, Kin Mu, good start. I made a few corrections there. Rashika says the building is easily accessible for people. The offices are in a square 5-story building with a giant red colored logo. Okay. UK 90 says currently there are 300 employees working there, nurses, doctors, and volunteers. Okay. Very good. All right, nicely done. So I'm just going to start a new paragraph here so it's clear. Okay. So I would estimate that there are at least 300 employees working there, made up of doctors, nurses, volunteers, and administrators. In addition, there are hundreds of patients receiving medical care who are not able to pay for treatment out of their own pockets. Okay, I'm using some expressions, natural language as well. Okay. All right. So I would estimate that there are at least 300 employees working there, made up of doctors, nurses, volunteers, and administrators. In addition, there are hundreds of patients receiving medical care who are not able to pay for treatment out of their own pockets. Okay, good. So now let's get to what happens there. Okay. So what happens in Red Cross Mumbai? Okay. And again, check your notes. Don't rush. So blood donation, healing, charity, health education, pharmacy, counseling. All right. Okay. So if the car says, though this nonprofit charity serves ill people mostly, it also provides other support like increasing awareness for health and hygiene, cautioning people about health concerns, especially these days with the pandemic. If the car don't say etc., you would never say etc. in a conversation in part 2. It doesn't make sense. So don't say and so on or etc. Okay. All right. Dharmishta says blood donors and charity donors. Okay. Money donors. Yeah. All right. Racina, during the lockdown, you have to check if the IELTS is available and in what form. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's start putting this together. So in addition to treating the ill, Red Cross is also involved in blood donation clinics, as well as health education to raise awareness about hygiene or STDs in order to improve the overall welfare of society. Okay. All right. Asad Beck says every patient gets care from an individual doctor or nurse who will help newcomers without refusal. Absolutely. Okay. All right. JS3 says the organization is focusing on health and well-being of the most needy people. They are doing blood donations, healing, education programs for the illiterate. Okay, good. PK says the organization provides healthcare facilities for ill people. In addition to this, they also have various donation camps and health seminars. PK Creation, very nice English. I like it. Abhishek says, furthermore, in this charitable organization, a variety of activities take place to help people, like blood donation, health education, and some exercise activities. Okay, good. Rashika says, this firm helps people organize blood donations, counseling for the mentally ill, and eye clinics for underprivileged people. Yeah, okay, very good. So, absolutely. Not only does Red Cross help individuals with physical ailments, but they also provide mental health counseling for those in need. In fact, I read an article a few months ago which expressed that Red Cross in Mumbai treated more than 1,000 patients with psychological disorders over the past 5 years. Okay, I'm just making that information up, but again, focusing on those activities. Okay, at this point, so I've got a lot of ideas, and I'm speaking quite a bit here. I'm probably at like 80, 90 seconds at this point, so I might not have a lot more time to speak. What should I do? Excuse me. So what should I do at this point? Okay. And I can see some really good answers, which is great. What should I do? So before I run out of time, before the examiner stops me, what do I need to do? Okay, it's a very important step. So you have to keep a lot in your mind during this part 2, not just English. Andre says, run. Don't run. Stay there. Stay calm. You've still got part 3, Andre. Yeah, Abhishek, very good. Abhishek says, check the questions, okay? Make sure that you answer all the questions on the card. So we still have to talk about the importance, and it's very important in this case that I check the card. So what can people do to contribute to this place? Why do you think places like these are important, and how can they be even better? Okay, so we still have these 2 questions. So now that I see these 2 questions, I want to make sure that I answer them so that I can get full marks. Okay? All right, so let's do that. Let's answer those questions, okay? So people can help Red Cross by either volunteering their time, donating money, or blood. All right? To make Red Cross in Mumbai even better. The building could be expanded so that it can house even more patients in need of medical care. Okay. It is vital that this establishment continues to operate into the future, as there are many people who do not have the resources for medical care. Okay. All right. So making sure that I'm answering all of those questions, okay? Very, very important. All right, everyone. So looking good so far. Let's now answer this question. Let's go from the top, from the beginning. So today's part 2 cue card. This is what we worked on. Let's read the questions and then we'll go over the answers. So this is now some listening, repetition practice, speaking practice. Speaking part 2. Talk about an establishment that does some type of charity. What is this place and where is it? How does this place help people? What can people do to contribute to this place? And why do you think places like these are important, and how can they be even better? Okay, all right. So here we go. Repeat after me and try to do it from just listening. Don't read. Sometimes I don't say exactly what's here. I adjust it so that it's even more accurate. Okay. So the Red Cross in downtown Mumbai is a charity that was established in 1950 to help people in the city and in India. It is in the heart of the city so that it can extend its services to many citizens conveniently, and it is easily accessible. This 5-story building can be recognized from a distance by the large iconic Red Cross logo near the top of the building. It's square-shaped with a large parking area and an emergency entrance for ambulances and patients in critical condition. It has dozens of rooms which serve a variety of purposes. I would estimate that there are at least 300 employees working there, made up of doctors, nurses, volunteers, and administrators. In addition, there are hundreds of patients receiving medical care who are not able to pay for treatment out of pocket. Further to treating the ill, Red Cross is also involved in blood donation clinics and health education to raise awareness about topics like hygiene, STDs, so that they can improve the overall welfare of society. Not only does Red Cross help individuals with physical ailments, but they also provide mental health counseling for those in need. In fact, I read an article that a few months ago that expressed Red Cross in Mumbai treated more than 1,000 patients with psychological disorders over the past 2 years. People can help Red Cross by volunteering their time, donating blood or money. To make Red Cross in Mumbai and such places even better, making them bigger, adding additional wings to the building so that more patients can attend would be a great way to approach this. And it's vital that such establishments continue to operate in the future so that those people who don't have money for medical treatment can also be helped. They don't have to suffer and they can live better. Okay, your 2 minutes is up. Now I will ask you a question connected to your response and some questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's continue with part 3. So that's how it works. Okay, that's how you construct it. It seems challenging. It is challenging, especially for those high band scores. Is it impossible? No, you can do it, okay? It just takes practice and an understanding of strategy and an understanding of what you have to include for good communication, okay? So again, if you weren't able to keep up, no worries. This lesson is being recorded. You can go back and review this after the session, okay? That's it for today. To get lots more HD videos, practice exams, to get our apps, go to aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Click the big red button to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. When you are in your My Student account, you have access to student partner speaking by clicking on this button. You will see this in both the academic and the general. And when you click on that button, then you will find some other students who are hanging out in here looking for somebody to video chat or audio chat. So just send them a text, say hi, let's practice some IELTS, and then you can practice your speaking with them. All right, students, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you to our moderator, Carolina. Thank you to our members for supporting our channel. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully I will catch all of you on Wednesday for Speaking Part 1 at the same time. Much love to everybody. I'm Adrian. Bye for now.